What's going on? It's been a while. Yeah, I think when I was setting up the live stream to do this, I haven't been on really making any YouTube stuff since November of last year. So it's almost been a year, been about 10 months. And I was going to be getting back into it in a totally new direction because I've been doing a lot of research and reading, and some of the last things I uploaded would probably give you some indication as to why. Actually, I did upload some videos actually earlier this year. And the reason why I'm doing this live stream today, and I'm not going to reply back to any comments that people come into the chat or anything like that. But the reason why I'm doing this today is because of an event that happened this past week. So I will start going forward, being live for about an hour Saturday mornings. I am currently working on something. I was trying to get done with that before I started doing this, but I've been kind of also in that urge to also be live, in that same kind of as I'm working on this. And I think I just need to start getting live, at least once a week. I'll do it every Saturday. Why is it Saturday? Why is it going to be Saturday morning? That is the day of worship that is established by the Lord in the Bible. And there will be a lot more biblical talk, religious talk coming out of me. Some of the things that I kind of came across late last year, the beginning of this year, I was doing a lot of research, led me from a lot of issues directly to the Bible. And I read the Bible. It took me about 3 months to read the Bible. And I won't go through some of the issues in the Bible, but I understood it very well. And if you think you are a Christian, I'm going to warn you, you probably are not. Many people out there that are church goers are not Christian. They are churchgoers. And I will break down a lot of this going forward. But the things that you might think you believe, I will break right through. And I've already had discussions with friends. I've already had friends cut me off and block me. And you know what? Hey, that's fine. That is fine. I will pick nobody over Jesus. I've worn this cross, or a cross similar to this, basically since I was 18 when I graduated high school. My grandmother gave me one. That one actually got lost when I was doing basic training in the Army. And I got another one. And I haven't taken this one off since. So, I've basically been wearing it for a little bit over 2 decades. And not to say that I've been fully committed to Jesus and understanding my faith, because I definitely have not, but I have had times where I didn't know really where to go. And I, sometimes just be in the car solo driving, I'll just talk to God, not really knowing and practicing faith at that time. But yeah, so that's going to be coming from me. So I'll be talking a lot about some of the Bible, kind of what is said in it, things you will never hear in a church building say. Most people, I'll give you a couple lessons. One, there is no establishment of day of worship to the Lord in the Bible at all. Not one little utterance of it at all, ever. Period. Okay. The next thing that I will say, churches. When you hear the word church, our modern minds, conceptions and thought processes around church is a building structure, the infrastructure. That's what we think of. Church. I'm going to go to church. And that's another thing that's never, because it's never said in the Bible, go to church. That is never said. That is never established. So, what is established? Well, congregate with, believers. That is the church. That is what is meant as the church. It's a congregation of believers. That is actually also the real definition of it. But there's so many deceptions out there, and that's basically the point of a lot of that, is to deceive you. And I will kind of throw a group here under the bus, but the baby boomers completely screwed it up. They fell for all of the demon's tricks. And next week I will talk about one of the beasts that's in Revelation. I will make that next week. But that age group, this is the age group that I basically look at and I say, yep, that's the age group that basically destroyed this country and made it what it is today. And notice, it is not that pleasant. I'm going to get to one thing here in a second. I'll probably end. I'll end with that. I tell you what, I'll end with that. But the age group 55 to about 110, 55 to about 110 right now. Notice, the age group about 110 in that range, in that area, they're pretty much gone. They're done. They're gone. You could say maybe a little bit older. Once you know the history, you'll know why. And I won't just be going through, once I maybe start to do this maybe daily, I won't just be talking about the Bible solely daily. That'll be reserved for Saturday, and there'll probably be other days where I talk about stuff, and there will be contexts and things where we talk about also this is what is how it's said in the Bible or whatever. But Saturday will be the day of worship on this channel going forward, but I will talk about other stuff when I get to that point in time, when I'm done working on the thing I'm working on. I realized upon researching throughout the earlier parts of this year what the issue was. Why is there so many issues? Why are there so many demons out here running around? Because I've pretty much, I'm not going to say I'm the only one, but I pretty much nailed down, I think, the issue. And it's amazing how ignorant people that say they are Christians are. They are massively ignorant, especially churchgoers. Churchgoers are some of the dumbest people. They make retarded people look smart. That's how stupid churchgoers are. I have almost no respect for them, because they don't even know what's in their own literature. And I'm talking about preachers, and I'm talking about the congregation. And I think one of the events that happened this past week was very evident of not just the event itself, but also the reaction. And that's been something that has started to become very apparent on certain things. It's not just the events that are happening, it's the reaction of communities after events are happening. Okay? And you might not understand this, but if you are white, you need to understand where you come from, your history. That is massively important, because I will tell you, this is your history. This is your history 101, actually. This is the Bible. This is one that I was given, actually. See? Holy Bible. There you go. I know I got a little light there. But this was given to me back in 2018. Not 2018. 2002, when I graduated high school. Anyways. There are issues in it, but that should be the first thing you read and understand as a white person. Yep, I'm gonna start to go down that road, because once you understand what is written in it, There is a very clear line set between certain people and other people. And that's kind of the point. And that's one of the reasons why you have issues today. Multiculturalism is a complete lie. I wonder who pushed that. Couldn't possibly be the demons in the Bible. Oh, who also pushed human rights, which that's the religion of baby boomers, is human rights. It is disgusting. But there are issues in the Bible. I'm not going to say that it is a perfect piece of literature. Actually, I will say it is perfect. It's perfect. But it was originally written in Greek. So if you've never read it in Greek, then you've never read the Bible. Clear as that. You've read a translation of the Bible. And case in point, I got one example here. I'm going to bring this up. This will be a verse from the Bible. I believe y'all can see that. It's going to be right here. These two verses, anyways. I'll read these two verses. And the Jews had light and gladness, joy and honor. And in every province and city, wherever the king's command and decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, and feast and a holiday. Then many of the people of the land became Jews, because fear of the Jews fell upon them. One of the things that is established early on, or is never established throughout the Bible, is any type of conversion. Let me do that backwards. Any type of conversion, when the Lord is telling his people how to worship him, how to follow him, how to be religious, the instructions, they are never, it never talks about converting anybody. So there are a few things in here that then start to stick out, and things like this. There's another one later. I can definitely bring up another one, but I'm not going to go through a bunch of things. That'll be, we can look at that going forward. But there is more truth in the Bible. And once you actually understand the manipulation that's actually going on in the Bible, then you'll start to understand what's going on today. The Bible is not just one book. It's not just one thing. It's a Bible, and the whole point of the word Bible is it's a collection of literature, which is made up of books. Now, depending on which Bible you use, the Protestant version's roughly 66. I believe the ones that have the Apocrypha, some of the Deuteronomical, if I even said that word right, I think those get up to like 88, which I haven't read those, and I will. I haven't read those. And those are very important because those also have history of the area, which is very important to kind of understand. Because that's mostly what the Bible is. It's a history. It's a collection of history. It is what most people, which when I brought my family together 2 months ago and I asked them what they thought the Bible was, the answer I got from most of my family who are churchgoers, this is why I rip churchgoers, and I rip my family a lot now. It's kind of fun around here. But when you ask them what you think the Bible represents, and they will say the common answer, God's word. It is God's word. And that is wrong. Because it is not. And I might take crap for that. I don't care. But it's not God's word. Now, the tablets that were handed down to Moses, that you could say that was God's word, because that was literally handed to Moses from God. But the Bible is a collection of historical literatures, books that are written by men. So the way I like to describe it is the history of a people and their documented relationship with the Lord. That is, to me, is a little bit more accurate of a way to understand what the Bible is. If you read a history book, that's what this is. It's a history book. And there is more truth in there about so many things. so many things. Once you read through the Bible and find a good version, I would say a good version would be like the New King James Version. That would be a good version, in my opinion. Let me go back to this thing. There is this is a website I use, Bible Gateway, and I kind of like it because it's got over here a bunch of different Bibles that you can look up and read through. Now, the one I default to is this New King James Version. That's the one I'm currently on right here. I was looking up the verse, and that's the one that I kind of default to for now, and that's kind of the project that I'm working on. There's also the NIV version, which that was the version I originally read through because growing up, and that's what this version is. This version is the NIV version. Let me get that back. So like this version is the NIV version right there. So I have since realized the issues with it, and it's not to say it's not totally corrupted, right? But if it's even a little bit corrupted, it's totally corrupted because you're missing some of the very key points. So we're going to look through some of the Bible going forward and really breaking down some of this stuff. It could be a great thing for you. Maybe it helps you understand certain things in the Bible. But I would say if you are looking to be religious, let me just go to this real quick now before I get to that. I'll end it there. So let me bring up this real quick. So this past week there was an incident. That's why I'm getting on today on Saturday on YouTube. And I'm looking to how to better put stuff out there on like Rumble and stuff like that. So I'll eventually do that. I will also eventually get a Discord up as well for people that want to come in, have a safe space, talk, ask questions, all that kind of stuff. I will make it for $1. I'm going to tell you right away, I'm going to make it for $1 to keep out spammers because that is an issue on Discord. But besides that, this past week, Charlie Kirk, who I'm not saying I agree with all his opinions on everything, he did a lot of good, man. He woke up a lot of people. And his main target audience was the younger generations, the college age. He did a really good job of reaching out to them and getting them to ask questions and all that kind of stuff. And realizing some of the different things that are going on in society, and they can get involved now. They don't have to wait until they're older. And the other thing that he would proclaim a lot when he would go to these college campuses was Jesus Christ. And you got to give him credit. He never backed down from that. And what happened this past week is he was assassinated. Now, we're not going to get into all the things about it, but do not ever feel threatened about proclaiming Jesus Christ, ever. And he tells you this. They will come for you if you proclaim my name. Yep, they did. And We lost a good one, but we know where he went. He went to the good place. But some of the backlash that came out this week, or not some of the backlash, but some of the reaction that came out after this. And this is why I'm going to tell you, white people, you better wake the hell up. Okay? White people, you better wake the hell up and realize that you are the target. People don't like you for whatever reason. Doesn't matter. Human rights is bullshit. It's propaganda to get you to allow in everybody that's not white. Have you noticed that all the white countries in the world allow in all non-whites? It's just white countries. And anyways, so I wanted to kind of just bring that up, but I'm going to show this not even that long. Couple minutes here of this video. I just came across this video. I was kind of like logged in, and I've never even seen this account, but I saw the first few minutes here, and I thought it was kind of like spot on. So I'm just gonna let this play out.
Charlie Kirk is dead, and it exposed something vile and horrifying that I want to share with you right now, just kind of candidly. He was murdered while he's speaking in public to a group of college kids. And there's one part of this that I think should horrify you to the deepest parts of your very soul. Instead of a universal outrage, instead of every decent person saying this is insane and this is wrong, the internet seemingly lit up with these celebrations and cheers and memes and people actually laughing and celebrating the murder of a man because he wore a different political jersey. So let that sink in for a second. And I don't think any of this is about Charlie Kirk, the person. And I don't think it's about whether...
So that was about the main thing I wanted to kind of just show you. The other one, this is another little headline. The Nation. Charlie Kirk was an unrepentant racist, transphobe, homophobe, and misogynist who often wrapped his bigotry in Bible verses because there was no other way to pretend that it was morally correct. Let me tell you something, man. What you will see when you read the Bible, it is racist, transphobe, homophobe, misogynist. Straight up. Oh, I guess that's why they target white Christians with all of their propaganda. So yeah. Well, man, Charlie Kirk, dude, you were a good one. I was looking to join the fight, my man. And for all those that have died before and left us breadcrumbs along the way and understanding, I'm here. I'm going to tear down. I'm going to tear them apart. White people, this is your history 101. This is why they propagate against it. Dinosaurs are fake. Moon landing's fake. All that is to get you to not read your history. Because you're not supposed to be around others. Oh yeah, we basically weren't up until about 100 years ago. Amazing how that works. And then human rights comes in to be a thing. And they're saying it was morally correct. Because he had it justified in Bible verses. If the Bible's telling you and to be a racist, transphobe, homophobe, misogynist, then yeah, I'm gonna take that. It's amazing how that works. But churchgoers, you're gonna hate it, man, because you've never read it. If you have read it and you're a churchgoer, then you're an idiot. I'll wrap it there. Have a great weekend. I'll start talking to y'all on Saturdays. Have a good one.